one of the other things that you talked about that, you claimed it was being in the right place at the right time, but you mentioned that you bought a super cold freezer recently.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
just kind of what was the thought process behind speculatively buying a freezer that probably, what, 1% of pharmacies in the country have?
Yeah, if.
Yeah. Like, I think that kind of goes back to like kind of like preparation. And I'm so glad you guys read Good to Great. I love it. Yeah. Because I always try to talk to my students about it.
Oh, it's such
and
a
they
good
look
book,
at me like
man.
with blank faces.
It's such a good book.
I know.
If you can get past the fact that some of these companies aren't quite there anymore, but they were at the time, you just, there's so much good stuff in that book.
No, I think when I think about what we could be the best at the world at, I think it's, and I think maybe just for independence in general, I think it really is looking ahead and positioning yourself in positions for success. And so we talk about like risk versus benefit. We talk about, cost versus opportunity. And for us, like, they were talking about, oh, well, Moderna is a front runner. And so, and I guess by the time this comes out, hopefully we'll have everything ready to go for phase 1.
Right.
But, everyone's like, yeah, is that crazy? Yeah, this one candidate needs an ultra low freezer. They'll never work out. And then I was thinking, oh, well, that's an opportunity, right? Like, we're a small pharmacy. If Moderna or a refrigerated vaccine comes out, they're not going to give it to me. They're going to give it to big old hospital system, right, XYZ. But if that means now Pfizer's over there, like licking their wounds, trying to get their vaccine out, maybe they'll send it to me, right? So it was kind of an opportunity to try to leverage ourselves, even as a small player, to be a big part. And so, if I was going to get left over, if I was going to get picked over as a little guy, well, then I'll go to the person that is going to be basically begging people to take their vaccine because no one wants to store it, and we'll do it.
I love that, being the small player but playing a big role.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut that one. We're gonna
love
push
it.
that
Yeah.
one.
I'll have to trademark it real quick.
Right. Yeah. You have to trademark that. Yeah.
I mean, it was really weird too, because I remember, back in September, I called the ultra low freezer manufacturer, and I just talked to the sales guy, which was really weird too, because I called him and he was like, hello, like someone to talk to. And then now he's probably just like inundated. But I mean, we chatted for like 45 minutes, and I was like, hey man, who's buying these? Like, where are these freezers even at? Like, who needs a super cold freezer?
Right.
And he told me research labs holding specimens.
That's true.
Like, you'll find it in the basement of some random Ivy League college that, they store, I don't know what, who knows what down there. But he's like, yeah, like, and he told me straight up, he's like, I will not be able to provide enough to meet demand. He's like, it's just not possible.
Oh, wow.
He's like, we can't make them fast enough. We don't have supply chain.
Right.
We're not going to invest the inventory, because then as soon as a refrigerated candidate does come out, just like almost like the mask, exactly like
That's
mask.
true. Yeah.
So it was very interesting. And so the fact that we were able to chat and talk, and I told him, I was like, I think we're going to pull the trigger. And he was, yeah, go for it, man. Like, order it now, because, if and when, like, people do want it, it'll be right now we're probably looking at like a 3 or 4 month lead time. By that time we will be in phase 2 and you won't need one. So it's really kind of came from like a place of not, I wouldn't say weakness, but almost like being backed into a corner where it's like, I know that I passed up on the main refrigerated vaccine. So we've got to figure out other ways. And so I always tell people, we're going to hit obstacles, but some people will just give up and other ones will try to get around it. And we've always been good about trying to figure a way around it.
I love it.
That was one of the things that my boss told me early on. And, Jeff's a software developer. And he was like, the reason he loves software is because if you come up a hurdle in a hardware situation, you have to build new hardware. If you come up to a hurdle in the software, you just build a way around it. And you kind of took that whole idea of like, cool, here's a problem. I'm going to find a way to go around the problem. And now the coolest part about that is, you're going to get into situations where the next time this happens, you're already ready. And the people who you served this time because you found a way around it, now you're the obstacle, right? Somebody else is going to come and be like, all right, cool, Tarrytown's going to get this and we're going to skip over all these other people because you're prepared and they've already shown a track record of it. It's just, it's a really cool, smart thing that happened.
Right. Yeah. It's just interesting. And it's not a footnote either. How maybe prepped by accident is a bad word probably, but how prepped you were based on what you were already doing, with strep and flu, and you guys immunize like crazy too already, don't you? Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That was one of the first things that, that's actually how kind of Mark kind of convinced, well, I didn't need too much convincing, but I told him like, hey, I want to do a huge vaccination program right now. Like, at Tarrytown back in 2015, we did flu and pneumonia. The first thing I did, actually the day I started at Tarrytown, I met with my mentor at UT she's like the queen of immunizations. Okay. And I just said, Sharon, like, give me a 5-year immunization plan. And she went over every year, like, Rannon, first year you do this, by year 5 you're gonna be doing this. Oh, wow. And we went from flu and pneumonia to, we have rabies vaccines on our protocol. We've got yellow fever. We've got Japanese encephalitis. We've got Hep A, Hep B, like every kind of vaccine you could think of. And so that's just something I was really passionate about. And when the COVID vaccine came out, it just made sense because I was like, well, that's a vaccine. We need to administer it. And I'm always a big proponent of just pharmacists playing a big role in it.